Jonathan Butcher, an education expert with the Heritage Foundation, joins us now with more on this. Jonathan, your thoughts on the president's plan, $81 billion.
Well, they had a national reopening summit today with a number of panels of educators talking about how to get schools open. And they said that with 45% of elementary and middle schools already open to in-person learning, that is a good start. Well, unfortunately, we've almost lost this entire school year. It's funny to be talking about just starting now when we're effectively at the end of March. And we already lost a quarter of the school year last year.
Yeah, well, so what do you think about the money being spent? I mean, $81 billion, is that too much? Is it not enough?
It's a huge sum, especially considering what the feds contribute towards K-12 learning annually anyway, because they only add about 10% or less of what the total budgets for schools are. So this is a huge amount of money. Not only that, the money is meant to be used for the most part after this year. They've essentially paced it out to be adding to federal contributions to school budgets for the next 7 years almost. If it was so urgent for schools to have the money right now, then why are they waiting for several years for schools to get these resources if opening right now is the priority?
So what is the most important issue or concern for students in America right now related to their education?
Well, I think it's those students who have been forced into virtual learning situations that they didn't choose on their own, which a year ago might have been just about everyone. But what's gone on in the past year is that most Catholic schools, many private schools, perhaps as many as 60%, have been open to in-person learning for this school year. And so what you've done is you've set students in a situation where they may not learn best. And so now they're falling behind their peers. And the federal government is trying to answer by just injecting more money into the system over a long period of time while they are still patiently waiting for public schools to figure out a way to get their doors open.
So there's still more remote learning among schools with more racial minorities. Why do you think that is?
Well, some of this is in the districts where you have high concentrations of minority students, right? Large urban areas like Los Angeles and Chicago, Philadelphia. And these happen to also be the centers where teacher unions have significant political power. And they have been flexing that muscle over the past several months, especially. They held out in Chicago and kept teachers from returning in person until just recently. There's still no plan for high school teachers to go back. The same thing has played out in Philadelphia as well. So I think that unions have used this opportunity to show how much power they have, especially when it comes to the decisions from local district officials.
Jonathan, do you think this pandemic will permanently alter public education as we know it?
Well, I think the parents' frustration with waiting for an answer from districts as they watch private schools and many families turn to home schools, I think that's going to spill over into more families choosing to educate their children at home. There are surveys that indicate that many more families are doing that already. I also think that families are taking things into their own hands and forming their own learning pods. One estimate has as many as 3 million children in pods this year. So I think it's opened parents' eyes that this is something that they can make the best decision for their students, and they can figure out a way to make this work when school districts are still waiting and dragging their feet to hear some answer from above them.
Yeah, so frustrating. Jonathan Butcher with the Heritage Foundation, thanks so much for your insights. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching the Heritage Foundation's YouTube channel. With more than 500,000 members, we are the nation's largest conservative research and education institution. We believe the principles and ideas of the American founding are worth conserving and renewing. Please help us further our mission by subscribing to this channel and sharing our videos with your family and friends.